Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the True Crime Podcast, Murder with My Sister.
I'm Marie.
We are your hosts this evening, and I'm Lisa.
So,
Wait,
you got tea?
I got, yes, like double bag tea. My sister just experienced, the first time, I think, always late Lisa, because remember I told you a few podcasts ago that like I'm too old to be
Yes.
held on time for stuff, and
I
that
know I'm going to be there.
late.
You
Yep.
know I'm
No,
going to
I'm
be
gonna be
there.
there. So everybody just calm down. And it was funny because I was talking to somebody at work and I was just like, every time I have to report to someone new, and I've had a lot of organizational changes at work, I'll go through like
Mhm.
3 months of anxiety where I'm like, I'm gonna be 10 minutes late. I'm gonna be 15 minutes late. I'm gonna be 20 minutes late. And then it gets to the point where I just stop texting, and then I have anxiety while I'm driving. And then I go
Mhm.
in, and it's like it builds to this point, and then finally I'm just like, listen, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Can we just collectively agree I'll be here between 8 and 8:30? If I'm gonna be later than 8:45, I'll text you. Okay. So for me,
I'll be here between 8 and 8:30, but I'll text you at 8:40.
I'm like, so if I'm gonna be later than 8:45, then I'll text you. Because here's how I work on the sevens, okay? So
Here's the
like
thing.
if I'm there between 8 and 8:07, then I'm there at 8.
Mhm.
If I'm between 8:08 and like 8:23, I'm there at 8:15. Okay? If I'm like
All right.
8:23 to 8:37, then I'll just put 8:30. So it's just one of those things
All
where.
right.
And also, it's fine. It's just time. It's just time. Okay, nothing is happening if I'm not there. Nobody's waiting on a
I know.
surgery that didn't get done. Nothing is it we're all okay. We're fine. And now you
So, I used to
are
tell people that
experiencing
I worked
this.
with. Yeah, it's fine. I used to tell people that I worked with because they like freak out like, "Oh, I need this day off, but you're already short staffed and blah blah blah." And oh my god, what's going to happen? But I really do need it. And and I was like, "Look, I'm going to take you down a notch right now. I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you a little sad. But if you never came back here, it would just keep happening
Go.
every
Yep.
day the way that it has been,
Yep.
and it's
We're
going to be
okay.
okay.
We're okay. Mhm. I know.
It
I
will
text my
keep going."
sister every Friday. She's like, "What time?" And I'm like, I'll be like 6, and then I'll be like, "Take that back. It's 6:30." And then I'll be like, "You know what? Let's do 7." And at 7 o'clock, she's like, "I'm waiting." And I'm like, "You know what? Let's just get it out in the open, okay?"
I don't I don't text you because I'm, like, waiting. I just let you know that I'm on and
I
I'm
know
I'm
you're
here,
on
but I'm,
because
like,
everybody's on time except for me.
I don't know
Also,
about that.
I think the best part about podcasting for me is that we're
Yeah,
never late on Monday. The
that's
worst
true.
day of the week, we're always dropping an episode on Monday thanks to you and your on-timedness, but for me, I'm just
I
like,
schedule it.
"Oh, you
They
schedule
are
it."
recorded.
Well,
They're
I know I
recorded,
record
and they're
them.
ready to go. So I edit. I use that term loosely, people. I edit it. I put all the things in it. So, like, today,
She does a great job
I
editing, just so
just
you know.
I just scheduled the episode that we're gonna drop on March 2nd. So,
See,
it's scheduled. It's just sitting there, ready to go.
preparedness,
That's
preparedness.
it.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I feel like I
I
hate
had to
having.
turn
Oh, go ahead.
I had to turn up my volume a little bit because I was like, "Is it me?" But I like to have one ear open because I can't
That's
hear myself talk.
that's what I
Yeah.
think I was just happening. I'm like, I feel like I don't usually have both ears covered, and now I feel better.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at both of our
I
green
can
lines, and we're okay.
Yeah, I can do it if the headphones are all the way on, but it sounds funny in my head.
Heard.
So,
So, um, I was
hmm,
listening to Us. Remember how I told you I like to listen to see if there's anything where I'm just like, "Fuck, we gotta re-record." And there was a episode
mm,
where I was talking about the nice thing that Katie said to us, and I was like, "Your friend
mhm,
Katie, not my Katie." And then I was like, "Wait a minute.
mhm.
Katie's my friend Katie now." So,
I think
Katie
you see her more than I do now.
yes, Katie, I wasn't implying that you're not my friend and that you're my sister's friend. I was just making the distinction between the we have 2 Katies. Katie that I used to work with is now just Katie, my
Mhm,
friend, and then Katie
mhm,
that my sister used to work with was Katie, her friend, but now you're both
mhm,
Katie's my friends. So, I don't know how we're gonna distinguish between the 2 anymore. But
mm.
so I wanted to apologize because I was like, "Oh, what if she's listening?" And she's like, "Well, thanks a lot. I thought I was your friend." "You are my friend, friend. You are." So and also thank you for listening. We have a new listener. One of the nurse at work, told me that her friend is listening,
Okay.
and I was really excited about that. And, remember the woman that I told you that I work with that I hugged, and then I realized that she's not a
Yes.
hugger? Um
You invaded her personal space without
I
asking?
did. I did, and I felt really, really bad. Her name is Stacy, and I felt really bad about hugging her and making her uncomfortable, but she told me that she was listening. She ran over and she's like, "And then you said something, and I was laughing so hard." And then my husband was like, "Why aren't you laughing?" And I was like, "You just tell him to shut the fuck up." But I didn't say that, but in my
Shut
brain,
up.
I was like, so thank you for listening to at work, all of you. You guys are supporting me so much. I really, really appreciate it.
I know you
But it's only
always would
2
tell
or
me
3.
because
They're
that's
my
good.
real friends
I
at
know
work.
you
Everybody else at work that doesn't listen, they can go fuck themselves.
you would always tell me when I would tell you when we were younger that you're so funny and you should just stand up and this and that and whatever. And you're like, "No, I'm not. You guys just think I'm funny because 'cause you're
'Cause you know
related to
me.
me and this
Yeah, 'cause you
and
know
I
my
was
stories.
but I'm telling you, there are people out there laughing that don't know you. I'm telling you.
You know what I
I'm
think it
telling you.
is? It's because I think they know someone like me. That's the everywhere I go, people are like, "You remind me of somebody that I know." And I'm like, "Is she pretty and
Mm.
funny?" And they're like, "Sure." And then but it's always somebody they like.
Sure.
"Sure, she is.
Oh,
Fine.
no.
Let
Sure.
that be your little secret." So
Okay.
yeah, so I wanted to clarify that on one of the episodes that I said that, and that's not right. I think I told you that Katie at work is no longer Katie at work. It's been miserable without her. She's fucking happy now in her new stupid job, but fine, whatever.
Congratulations, Katie.
And then so I was doing some grocery shopping and I bought something
Mhm.
because I post
Uh-oh.
on Fridays. I post the podcast fridge on Facebook so that
Okay.
people know how liquored up I'm gonna be. And I came across this thing. So it's a you see this? Stella Rosé,
Yeah.
and I'm not promoting
Yeah.
Stella Rosé, like, they don't endorse us, but I'm just saying it was a sample kit, and all of these little
Okay.
windows had wine in them, like little bottles of bubblies,
Like an
and
advent calendar?
yeah, but it's all different flavors. It was like blueberry, blackberry cherry, peach,
Really?
sangria. So I have them all lined up and I would imagine an appropriate amount of a wine glass pour in each
They're actually
bottle.
a serving. Yeah.
Whatever, for whatever that's worth. So, but
Uh,
I'm gonna drink the whole box. But I wanted to show you. So I have those
and
ready
there's
to
5
go.
of them.
Yes. And then also a
Awesome.
margarita tonight because we were having Mexican for dinner.
Oh, oh,
This is really good. I made a really good guacamole.
I'm really
Avocados were on
boring. I just
sale.
have water,
Oh,
but
you were
it's all
doing water
green.
today?
I made sure that my straw matches my glass.
Wait, what? You're not drinking with me tonight? Why?
No,
Oh
I don't
God.
feel like it.
Oh,
That's all.
I don't under we're not sisters anymore. I don't even understand that. I don't feel like it.
Uh,
I don't understand that.
I don't
No,
care about it.
no.
Whatever. Anyway,
Loser. Only
You're a
losers
loser.
don't. No, you're a loser.
No, you're a
Anyways,
big dumb dummy.
you're a big lying liar who lies. Okay,
Liarson.
so then do you have anything that you want to get off your chest?
You know what?
Tell me.
While I
I'm
was
here for it.
waiting for you to get
Really?
online,
I hit below the belt a
I
little,
was
why don't you?
watching I was watching the Tiki Talkie,
Uh-huh.
and there was a post about Eric Dane,
Oh my god.
and
God!
I hate it. I
I'm
fucking hate
so
it.
upset about that.
I
All right.
I'm s I fucking hate it.
This is for many levels. Number
Mm.
1, and I think number 1, obviously, I'm sad that he's gone. And then very closely behind that is that he is not that much older than us.
No, he's
He
53.
was 53. W
53.
I am not ready for that to be that close to us. I mean,
So awful.
did they say what happened?
God bless you. Oh, so he announced a year ago that he had ALS, which is Lou
Oh,
Gehrig's disease.
no. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I'm so sorry to
I
hear
don't
that.
I don't know if I recall ever hearing, like, when he was diagnosed. I don't know if he was diagnosed sooner and
Oh.
he just told everyone last year, but it's an awful
I'm
disease.
well,
It's
let's
such an
all
awful
it
disease.
is. I mean, all of the diseases are awful diseases, and I just wish for all of us health. Okay? Just
Yeah.
in whatever shape it is for you. Like some people are like, I wish I didn't have cancer. And then some people are like, I just wish I didn't struggle with mental health. And then some people are like, well, I wish
Mhm.
I didn't struggle with obesity. Whatever health looks like for you is what I wish for all of you and all of us. Whatever health
Yeah.
makes you wish that you don't have to wish for it is what I want for all of us, is that kind of health.
That's lovely. That's
For
lovely.
me for me, I wish that I could drink and have no repercussions from it, but
I bet
I
there's a lot of
can't.
people that wish that.
Yeah. Do you know we saw so my neighbors smoke, the people that live, to the whatever fucking direction of that it is. It's either right or left. If you're looking at our house, it's left. If you're not looking at our house, it's right. So those people,
Okay. Okay.
Um, they're older and they both still smoke. And I was like,
Mhm.
some people could just smoke and smoke forever and not have any, not smoker's cough, not emphysema, not COPD, not cancer.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I
Mhm.
wonder if people who quit smoking, like Aunt Deb, good job, by the way, Aunt Deb. Quit smoking now for a
Yeah,
long,
good
long
job,
time.
Aunt
Good job,
Deb.
Aunt Deb. Very proud of
Mhm.
you. Very, very hard, but very proud of you. I
That's a
wonder if
hard
she would
one,
look at
yeah.
them and be like, man, I wish I could just kept smoking my whole life. Like, if you never had any ill effects from it, were you a person who was like,
Yeah.
yeah, really love
One of
me
those
that
people
cigarette?
who makes it to, like, 85 and is
Yeah.
still smoking, and then everyone's
Yeah.
like, "You really should think about quitting," and I'm like, "Don't quit now
Why?
because that's when it all
Why?
falls apart."
If
They're
I am
85, leave them alone.
still kicking boots at 70, I'm going to start smoking.
Oh,
But
you're thinking the bar is low. 70?
like
Come
like a
on.
marijuana. Like maybe I'll just like get an old-fashioned joint with an old-fashioned rolling machine and just start fucking smoking. I miss that.
Oh,
I miss that
geez.
boat. I know
Smoky.
I love my
Smoky!
liquor. Okay, so here we are.
Anyway,
Here we are this week. I hope we're all caught up now. I hope all of you are thinking of the ways that you would like to do things when you're 70.
so my sister
And
picked this one. Tell
I
the people.
did. I picked the story. I don't have a clever intro. It's the story of Betty Broderick and
Mhm.
Dan Broderick and their
Mhm.
family, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, Linda Calcutta. Is that right? Did I say that right?
I don't know. It's Dutch. I don't know how she says it.
And here's what I'm going to say. I hate that this story ended with two people dying because
Mhm.
I don't know if I've loved researching anything more. Like, it was a
Mm.
Lifetime movie. Meredith Baxter Burney fucking
It was a
nailed
lot of
it.
movies.
She fucking
It
nailed
was a
it.
lot of movies.
And I loved watching her play that part. And then more recently, Dirty John. Is that what it's called, right? Dirty
Mhm.
John? Um,
Yeah, Dirty John, it's season 2.
and Amanda Peet and Christian Slater fucking
Mhm.
nailed it. It was so
Mhm.
good. And then at at the base of all this, I'm like, "Fuck, man. Somebody fucking died. Like 2 people died."
I know.
And I
I know.
love doing the whole both sides thing. So, this has been a
Mhm.
really incredible week for me on this story. And I know if people are like, "That's a shitty thing to say about murder," you're not wrong. It is a shitty thing to say about murder, but here I am saying it anyways. So, go ahead with your sources right off the top, sis.
Wikipedia, and then a 1992 movie called, I don't know if that was the Lifetime movie, it was a
It
movie.
was.
Um, it was it was called A Woman Scorned,
It
the
sure
Betty
was.
Broderick story, and that's
Uh-huh.
where Meredith Baxter Burney played her and got an Emmy nod for that performance.
I watched it this week,
I
and
did too.
I watched Dirty John season 2 again,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
enjoyed both of them. I
And
enjoyed them
then the
so
Dirty
much.
John one was 2020.
Mhm.
Netflix, Dirty John season 2, the Betty Broderick story.
Let me ask you this. So then also here's what I
Hmm.
did because I also looked at the Wikipedia. It was a Betty Broderick page and I had
Mhm.
watched these two, but I was like, I can't have my sources be a Lifetime movie and the 2020 Netflix because it says on every episode that while this is based on a true story, certain parts have been
It's been
fictionalized for dramatic
changed. Yeah.
purposes. So I was like, well, I can't
Yeah.
have that be my source. But so then I was like, let's do some digging around. So I looked at the Wikipedia page. I did look at a couple of
Mhm.
People Investigates and People Magazine articles, and then I stumbled across Court TV. So I'm stating that one, Court TV.
Mhm.
It was the Kim Broderick testimony. It was 2.5 hours.
Oh.
Girl, I was set firmly in the Betty Broderick column.
Oh, I never
And
was.
then her
Okay.
daughter's testimony,
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck." Like,
So,
just fuck.
I
And
will tell you
her
as we
daughter also wrote
go
a
ahead.
book. I'm sorry, really quick.
Yeah,
It's
there's a lot of
called,
books.
Betty Broderick, My Mom, and it was written
Mhm.
by her daughter, Kim, and it was,
Mhm.
told from the perspective of another writer. I don't remember. It got, like, some weird reviews on it. I didn't read it. I just wanted to say
Mhm.
that her daughter did write her story. So go
Mhm.
ahead if you wanna say anything before we get in.
I well, as I was I watched the shows, I
Mhm.
feel, and I think I put this somewhere in the thing. I feel like the 1992 movie made Betty out to be a very, like, unhappy kind of person where if I was her husband, I wouldn't wanted to come home to that every day either. Like, I was like, "Dude, don't blame you." Not even a little bit. And
Okay.
then just the way that she was behaving, they made her out to be very, like, irrational and fly
Uh-huh.
off the handle and
Uh-huh.
all that kinda shit. And then the 2020 version, the Dirty John
Mhm.
version, they made her out to be more sympathetic, like, you could kind of see where she was coming from, and you could see how he pulled the wool, over her eyes and kind of
Uh-huh.
really shocked her with all of the portrayals were very different from 92 to 2020, and the
Okay.
truth probably falls somewhere in the middle.
So,
But
okay.
I did not like some of the things, and we'll talk
No.
about all of it, that
Oh,
she
yeah,
did at
we're gonna
before the
have
murders happened. I was like, "This woman is on my S list because
we're gonna have
of the
some
way that she's
conversations.
behaving."
Yes. So
Mm,
here but
mm,
okay, this is I'm gonna have so much not fun with this. Fun.
okay.
Because before we get started on this, let me say while it was never documented that Betty Broderick suffered from any mental illness issues, I just wanna
Mhm,
say
mm,
from somebody who is in the therapy actively and who
mhm,
believes that it should be discussed openly the way that it has been, um, maybe she might have been suffering from some things here and there. So, on top of all that, if you or anyone that you know is suffering or struggling, you can get help by calling 800-662-4357. That is help for confidential treatment referrals. And if you are thinking about harming yourself or others, please text 988 anywhere in the US and Canada for additional support services. So I just want to say that off the top because this was back in the 70s and 80s, and mental health,
Mhm.
we used the term, "She's crazy, she's whatever," and
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, could one person drive another person crazy? Like, could you be driven crazy by another person?"
Yes.
Yes,
They
I
call it
think you could.
gaslighting.
Well, well, we know about
I mean, you
gaslighting
do
now. When did that
you
term come up?
literally feel like, uh, last 10 years.
Is it that old?
Last 10 years.
I was gonna go even shorter than
I
that.
I feel like, yeah,
Okay, my
you can
door
be made to feel like you're losing your shit.
we had a swinging door episode a while back. My door is going to be swinging all over the fucking place on this case because I think the TV movies, while they did change things for dramatic effects, there were consistencies between the two of them, and then her daughter confirmed
Mhm.
them while I was that was so when I say confirm, that's court testimony, she swore on a Bible, so I'm taking that as verified, right? So for me,
Okay.
if the daughter said it and it was on both the TV ones, I'm going with it. I'm riding
Yeah.
that rail. Um,
Okay.
and then
Alright.
and then so I'm looking at things I'm going to look at them from both sides. I love this for you and me that we are going to look into this and you have your opinion. And I know, guys, here's what I could tell you about my sister. When she makes up her fucking mind, there is no goddamn changing it. Ever. It has to be her fucking idea to change it or it's not going to happen. So if you
I'll
have
listen to you.
You have no, 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 I don't want you to listen to me, I want them to listen to me. If you have your dug in your heels and you're set in your ways, this could be a fun 45 minutes for us as
Man, I keep
sisters.
hearing that, like, how stubborn I am. Am I stubborn?
Have you met you? Have you literally met you? Because if you haven't, I'd like to introduce you to yourself. Okay, you're a stubborn woman. You're a
Oh,
Gemini,
jeez.
bro. What the fuck? You're
Yeah, I
stubborn
guess
and
so.
weird. Bipolar, like, you have all of them, and then, guys, she also fucking
I
rearranges her
have all
furniture so much. Why do you keep moving shit? Every month I would go over
I
to her
don't know.
house and she would have shit and you can only put shit so many fucking ways. And she would have it and I'm like, "What did you do? How did you make this into a whole nother room in a month?" My furniture has been in the
Anyway,
same spot since I moved in here, and it will stay there until
that's
I
not true.
leave.
That's not true. Your TV is on a different wall. Your couch is in a different spot.
That's just because we got that new
So go
couch
fuck
and we had to
yourself.
move it. We got a new couch and we had to
Excuses.
move the L. That's all.
Excuses. Anyway,
Let us get into
all right.
this story.
Betty
Take it
Broderick
away.
was born
Mhm.
Elizabeth Ann Bissalia. It's
Glia.
Italian, people.
I think Glia.
Okay.
Biseglia.
Bisaglia. Okay.
Biseglia. Did
Ooh,
you hear
that
how I
sounds
just
good.
said that?
Bisaglia.
It rolled
Love
off
it.
my tongue. Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Good for us.
On November 7th, 1947, she grew up
She's so
in, it says Bronxville, New York. I thought it was just the Bronx, but whatever. She was the third of six children born to Marita and Frank, who owned a plastering business with relatives. Her mother was Irish and her father was Italian.
Mhm.
Spicy combo.
Spicy, yes, and they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were not they were they were doing, like, okay. Oh, that's not theirs. So they were, kinda strict, right? They were, like, the strict parents where it was, like, in the
I
'50s
mean,
that they
that's what
were
they
raising her,
say. Mm.
where it was, like, ladies like, I just women are to be seen,
I
not
don't know if
heard,
they
and take care
but
of your
that was the
man.
culture.
Right, no, 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 that's
That
what
was
I'm
the
saying, like, that
culture.
was how it was, like, periods were like, "You got your what? Your period? That's a dirty thing." Like,
Oh, Jesus.
I know. Okay.
Anyway,
Mhm.
the Bisaglias were, they say,
Mm,
strict.
that's what I just
Much
said.
was expected of the children. Betty recalled later that she was being trained to be a housewife since the day she was born, or as she said, you go to Catholic schools, you be careful with dating until you find a Catholic man, you support him while he works, and you are blessed in your later years with beautiful grandchildren. I mean, if that's your
Okay.
vibe, rock on.
If that's your vibe, and also you
Um,
might not just be having all those kids. I mean, there's a little thing called
I mean,
infertility, but whatever.
if you don't want them, don't have them.
No.
She also recalled that her school friends were raised under similar circumstances. She says, giving her little chance to rebel. And I'm just like,
So she
get the fuck out of here.
she couldn't have anybody
Okay.
do the wrong things with her?
Oh
Well,
my
you know
God.
what? Then do it
We were
alone.
raised Catholic. Guess what
Mhm.
we did?
Right, and if I remember, so this is what I was gonna say, I think I remember that her family was a little well off, right? Like, they had some cash to throw around, because I thought
I
that
think
there
so.
was a nest egg that she had, and that she had
Oh.
used while putting Dan through one of his either degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So Betty graduated, from, it sounds like, both high school and college of Mount Sinai Vincent, where she earned a degree in early childhood education through an accelerated program. What does that mean? What is
I
accelerated
think
program?
whatever she I think whatever she did in high school, some of the credits carried over as college credits. So she
Even in
was
the
able to have
50s.
like, yeah, some
Okay,
sort of a degree
okay,
even though she was only 17 graduating.
okay,
So
and
she meets Dan at go ahead.
no, I just I just want it noted that she had a degree, like, that, she had a
Yeah.
degree, because as we
Yeah.
talk about what she did to support the family,
Mhm.
she was a learned
Yeah.
soul.
In 1965, she meets Dan at the University of Notre Dame in Indiana. He was born in Pittsburgh, eldest son of a very large Irish Catholic family. Parents had similar outlook as the Bisaglias. He was 21 years old when she met him and about to graduate and attend Cornell Medical School. She was only 17. And whatever she graduated with in
She was
terms of a
graduating
degree,
college at 17?
she would no, she
No, high
graduated
school.
high school,
Okay.
had some sort of college credit situation that transferred over, it sounds like,
Mm,
but then she was going or planning to go to college.
okay.
She says Dan never wavered in his goal of making me his wife. He would wait, he would do and say whatever was necessary, even agreeing with me when he didn't, and doing things I wanted to do when he didn't until he had me. Nobody ever used the terms obsessive compulsive or stalker back then, but that's what he was.
So, okay, you know the term love bombing, right? Love bombing?
Yes.
Is that what
Love
we're
bombing,
talking
yes.
about? Like, where you just are,
I think that's what she's alluding to.
okay. So,
Yeah,
also at this time,
that
men were
may be it.
allowed to guilt women into doing things, right? Like, there was that, like, it's like pressure, but and almost force without force. And I bring this up
Mhm.
because when I was watching the testimony of her daughter, they had started with, like, did your mom ever tell you how she met your, or how her and your dad got married? And she said she did tell him that her mom told her that, Dan had pursued her
Hmm.
over and over, that she eventually said yes to marrying him because she felt bad for him that he had asked her so many times. But
Oh,
But
that's a good reason to get married.
well, hang on though, hang on. We will learn later that she often had these conversations with her kids that maybe I might not have.
Mhm.
And her behavior, and we're going to call it right now, like, love or lust that she
Mhm.
had. Is she saying that as a woman scorned? Is a woman who's angry, like, "He wanted to marry me until I said yes," or is she because the love that she showed for him and that family, I believe was genuine. I believe she genuinely loved and did not want a divorce and did not want to be separated from that man. So I find it interesting that she would use those words in a situation where she might have been like, "Nope, okay, go. My sister's not happy."
If she was truly if she was truly saying that her upbringing was such that you support your husband, you do all these things, blah, 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 then
Mhm.
divorce was a slight to her. A divorce was shameful. A divorce made her look bad.
But she
That's
talked
the
about it
other
all the
that's the
time.
narcissism side of it.
She threatened divorce every other week according to her daughter and to the first movie,
I
A
I
Woman
know.
Scorned. Okay.
Until it happens, right?
Okay.
Now you're okay,
Let's
call her
go.
bluff.
And he did.
Okay. The
Alright.
couple married, April 12th, 1969, Immaculate Conception Church in Tuckahoe, New
Nice.
York. Betty returned from the honeymoon pregnant with
You
their
go,
first child.
girl. Get it
Mm.
in. Mm.
So Kim was born in 1970. Lee was born in 71. Son Daniel, 1976. Son Rhett,
Funny.
love it.
I did too.
1979. Rhett. And then it's written that there was a little a stillbirth maybe or
I had read that he had
a
survived
little boy
for
was born.
born and then didn't survive. Um, do
Yeah.
we know, like so again, this is one of those things where I had trouble sourcing the what are we gonna call that, Dirty John? Is it like a docu-series or is it just a it's not a documentary. It's a docu-series. It's
It's
based on a true
really
story, but what is it? It's a
yeah,
made for like,
I don't
what is it?
know.
I don't know
It's a
either.
TV series.
So in
I'm gonna
that,
call it a TV
they had
series.
cited that that he wasn't there, that he was on a ski trip and she was alone. But it was
Oh,
I mean, again, that could be Hollywood doing their thing. But it was one of those things
yeah.
where both did source that and it was widely known that she did have the baby who didn't survive. And I
Okay.
believe that it was stated that she had a very difficult time with that pregnancy and that
With the
she
last
had
pregnancy.
mhm, and that she had was thinking that maybe she would not want to have more kids after that.
Okay. So after Kim's birth, Dan completes his MD degree at Cornell. He then announced his intention to no longer practice as a physician and
Mhm.
start earning some fucking money. But you
Mhm.
know what? I think I'm going to go back to law school
Mhm.
and coast for another 3 years. This thing pisses me off a little bit. So he enrolls at Harvard. Betty, from what I am able to see, and some of it is fictionalized, but it sounds like she was the one paying the bills, so if she
Mhm.
had a nest egg from her parents, that makes
It was
sense.
gone.
She was she was taking care of all the kids.
Mhm.
She was working part-time jobs to make ends meet. There was some allusion to the fact that she might have had 5 jobs at one time while she's taking care of the kids, so Dan can be a fucking
So,
full-time student.
I know that she worked multiple jobs, and I know that there was some, "Oh, I remember you working, like, Avon and selling Tupperware," like, those are, "Oh, they're not real jobs because you were" like, no, they're even worse because you're
They're even
peddling.
worse.
You're
Yeah.
begging your friends and family
Sales,
to b
like
I mean, c
yeah,
oh god,
yeah.
pyramid schemes, give me a break. But so
So
I did want
I take issue with this.
okay, good.
I really hate that she was the one expected to do all the fucking work while he's,
She did.
sloughing off being a fucking student and living his best life. And then when push comes to shove and it's his fucking turn to take care of everybody, as we'll find out later, he's like withholding money and holding it over her head
Yes.
and this kind of thing. And I'm
Yes.
like, fuck you, man.
Fuck
Fuck
you, man
you.
is right. Fuck you, man is right. Um,
Ugh.
but So we are confirming. I thought that I had seen that he started his career as an MD, like he was actually like, "Oh, I'm gonna be an MD," and then was like a
Oh,
couple weeks in, he was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is for me. So I'm gonna go back to school." Like, I'm sorry, you just got done and now you're going
I
back, motherfucker?
yeah. No, I agree. I think that was the Netflix series
Y
that put it that way, where
Yes.
he practiced for a short time and
Yes.
was like, "No way, this ain't for me."
The same for me.
The only reason I take issue with that shit is that he had 3 years of residency that would have shown him very quickly what his life was
Okay.
going to look like.
Thank you for
That private
clarifying that.
practice shit was not a fucking surprise,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Unless he went right from medical school and never completed his residency, but then he wouldn't I guess he would be able to carry the degree of MD, but he wasn't licensed to practice medicine if he never completed a residency.
Oof, there's that
So,
learned sister of
interesting.
mine. She's learned, guys.
Anyway,
Okay.
all right. So after he graduates
Mhm.
in 73, finally, he's hired by the largest law firm in San Diego, substantial defense litigation practice. He moves his family to San Diego, the San Diego community of La Jolla.
Mhm.
Betty continued working part time, doing her thing, raising
Mhm.
the children.
So I do wanna say at this
Um,
point that they're married now a couple years, but to set the tone for what we see
hmm,
coming, because I feel like the Lifetime and the Dirty John made it all seem like the marriage started to fall apart when he met Linda, like, so she was the
mm,
reason that it wasn't. So at
yeah,
this
they
time in
did.
'73, Kim had testified that Betty kicked him out of the house, and he was not happy about it. He did
Mm,
not wanna leave, but that he was gone for around a month, and the kids did remember this. So this was at a time when they were there and they remembered it, and she said he wasn't around a lot, um, and, but that he did eventually come back. So he was working a lot was what she said. He wasn't around a lot to be a dad.
mhm.
So here we are. We got the
I mean,
breadwinner. We got right.
working
So
parents.
I know. This is where I'm saying, like, part of me is like, okay, you got the guy who's trying to make the money, and then you got the mom who's trying to fucking keep her goddamn sanity with how many kids at this point now? 4? Is it 73? She's got 4?
4.
That's so many
Mhm.
kids. I have 2, and I'm like sometimes I'm just like, like, I can't like, when people have more than that, I'm like, "Did you have fun with the first 2?" Like, I mean, the first one the first one, we were like, "Okay, we could do this. We could do a second one. We could do this. We got this." The second one let us know, "You cannot. You shouldn't have, and you can't." So when people are like, "Did you so you had fun with the first 2 that you're like, 'Fuck it.
Wait,
Let's throw
you
another one.'"
you were like, "Wait, we could do this again," and Cashton said, "I challenge that."
I sure did. Challenged the fuck out of that. That one put us in the poorhouse. That one, he changed everything around here. His dynamic changed everything. So, okay. So
Ah,
that's all I wanted to say on that was that this is
okay,
still early in the marriage, but that the marriage was
there's already
rocky. Okay.
turmoil. Okay,
It just wasn't all on Linda. That's all I'm trying to say.
okay.
Okay.
In 78, after 5 years of working as a training as an associate at the law firm, Dan left the large law firm and founded his own small boutique law firm specializing in medical malpractice litigation on behalf of the plaintiffs. Because of his background and having both an MD and a trial attorney background, he quickly enjoyed success.
Mhm.
So
So,
good for
okay.
him.
Good for him for sure, and I do know that there was, like, a whole, "Oh, you got your first 1,000,000, I'm sure there'll be more," or $1,000,000 settlement. Um, at this point, it's 1978, they've only been married for 9 years, and I
Mhm.
don't wanna say only, like Like, as in, if for those of you who are making it 5 years and like, "What do you mean only 9 years? Oh, we got 5 years." I'm just saying that the way it's portrayed in the TV movies, if you watch them,
Mhm.
was that it seems like they had been married for a very long time by the time that this had
Yeah, the
come
kids were
along.
still little though, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
They weren't actually married that long.
right. So it probably felt really long for her, like taking care of 4 kids and having all the jobs. So it probably felt like 30, closer to 30, 40 years. Kim testified that there
Mm,
was no violence in the marriage on the part of Dan. And I put this in here because they had gone back to the
mm,
beginning with her. And she says, I never witnessed him get violent with my mom. I never witnessed him hitting her. But she did notice violence with her mom in regards
mhm,
to him scratching, hitting, being violent with him, throwing things. I mean, she started with,
mhm,
little things, like a ketchup bottle, and then very quickly graduated to stereo
mm,
equipment and heavier items. So there was at a point now, he's successful. He's in his own law firm, and she goes and burns all of his clothes. It's in both TV movies, and Kim does
yeah.
testify to this. So I'm like, "Well, then we're gonna talk about it." So I'll wait until because I don't know exactly when that happened, but I wanted to say that she did report. So Miss Betty. No, you want me to stop?
No, I feel like that stuff happened after he finally leaves her,
No, because
and
they were
it's
living at
obvious that
home.
he's
When she burned all his
yeah,
clothes,
so
they were
I'm
still
not
living
sure when it
together.
happened.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
they were still living together when she grabbed all of his clothes, threw them over the balcony, and then lit them on fire. All the clothes.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
I mean, here's the thing. If she is suspecting that or if she's unhappy, because that was the other thing, there's a lot of testimony like that he was gone late, he went out with his friends, he wasn't around.
Mhm.
I have been married, I
I
don't know how
mean,
many years, and I have 2 kids, and I get resentful. Like, I get resentful.
10,
Is it 10?
11,
Whatever.
11.
So, I am not saying I don't understand
2025
her.
was 11.
I got okay, fine. Ugh. So, I feel like I get her resentment. Like, I get it, Betty. I know what it feels like to feel like the guy is always getting to do stuff and you're not. And that's what I'm in therapy for, to advocate for myself. But Betty didn't have therapy then. She had 4 kids and a husband who
No.
wasn't home, but a husband who was bringing in the bacon. But then they were saying that she was like a big spender. So she had lots of friends. She threw nice parties.
Mhm,
She had
mhm.
Sunday dinners for her friends, and she was a very social person, but apparently she didn't like all of Dan's friends. And who of us do like the
Oh.
boys' friends? Like, what guy do
I
we
mean, we
date and
don't
we're
like
like, "Your
all of
friends
them.
are awesome." I never said that. I'm
Mhm.
just kidding. None of Eric's friends are listening. It doesn't matter what I say.
Okay,
Alright, go ahead.
so fall of 1982, Dan hires 21-year-old Linda Kalkana, a former Delta Airlines flight attendant,
Mhm,
as his legal assistant at the new firm. However,
mhm, mhm,
all of the movies portray Linda as being hired at the firm to be
mhm,
a receptionist.
mhm,
Like, Dan just walks in one day and is like, "Who's this chick?" So I'm not sure if he hired her or if she just was there one day.
mhm.
But
Yes.
she is quickly promoted to a legal assistant, even though she was hired as a receptionist
Okay.
and given more money than everyone who's already been there.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna have a real lot of fucking fun. I didn't put it in here, but I was thinking about it after I finished the
Hmm.
story this afternoon. As a very
Mm-hmm.
intelligent woman who did not attend a formal
Mm-hmm.
college and who did work in a corporate setting,
Mm-hmm.
why can't she be promoted
Mm-hmm.
quickly? Just because she was a flight attendant doesn't mean that she wasn't fucking smart. Just because she was a receptionist doesn't mean that she didn't have potential. So for all of us out there, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, my favorites, just because for you book smart and collegial, that's why. See, that's why. That's why they do that to us.
Yeah,
Collegial,
whatever.
wherever you fucking people are, we
Collegial.
we are smart, okay? We deserve opportunities. So maybe somebody saw something in her and she was like, "Yeah, I deserve an opportunity." And you know what? As a flight attendant, as a receptionist, she was probably like, "Take it. Done. Boom, bitch, got an office." What? Mhm. Good for her. I say good for fucking her. But then also
Okay.
there's other secretaries who
Touche.
are probably like, "Wow, why did she get promoted and I didn't? Meh, meh."
So,
Okay.
in the 1992 movie, do you
Yeah.
remember Phoebe on Friends, her sister-in-law Alice, right? Mary
Of
Jo Rupp,
course,
right?
of
No, Debbie
course.
Jo Rupp. She was in that '70s show. She was the
Yes.
mom in that '70s
Yes.
show too. Fucking love
Yes.
her. I'm, like, watching this movie and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Wait a minute.
Wait. Yep.
Wait a minute."
I know that girl.
A very young Deborah
Mhm.
Jo Rupp. I was like,
Mhm.
"Fuck yeah." And so in the 1992 movie, she's like, this person comes in, she is not a paralegal.
Mhm.
She gets a corner office. She gets more money than I make, and I've been with you longer, and blah, blah, blah. And then Dan said something kind of to the effect of what you said, where he says, like, well, she's doing a great job and she needs this and she needs that.
Yeah,
And
he did.
Deborah Jo Rupp's character is like, well, bye,
Bye.
and walks
Yeah, she
out.
did.
Now, professionally, I can see that. Like, I can see where, dude, you didn't even advertise for anyone to
Correct.
be promoted or an assistant.
Well,
That's bullshit.
that's
Like, I
hang
should have
on,
been
hang
given the opportunity.
that's 2026 you.
Yeah,
1986,
that's true.
1982 you, he did exactly what they did.
1982?
1982 you was like, "Hey, I got a corner office if you can come on over to my office and you don't typing? What is a typewriter? You don't need that. We have secretaries in our office." And she's like, "Okay, show me where I'm sitting." Bring, bring,
Yeah.
bring. "This is Linda. How can I
Bring,
help
bring,
you?"
bring. Okay.
Uh-huh. So, in the movie Portia Dirty John, Linda was the building receptionist before being promoted. So I found that so
Yes. Okay.
endearing because, like, back in the 80s and 90s, I worked downtown with our mom, and buildings had receptionists
Mhm.
in the main lobby. They worked for, like, the building management company, but they were there to,
Yes.
literally help you.
What
Field co like,
where do you who yeah, like,
how to where
who are you
who are
here to
you here
see?
to
Let me tell
see?
you where their office
Yes!
is.
Now you don't have that. Now you have to look at your phone and you're like, "What fucking floor did he say he was on?" And then you just you inadequately maneuver through the building, hoping to God you're going in the right direction. I miss the building receptionist. Okay, I feel like we should have her back. So that's it. That's what I'm saying
Okay.
on that one.
As early as October 1983, Betty
Mhm.
supposedly suspected Dan was having an affair with Linda. Dan denies it.
Mhm.
In the and this is where I say in the 1992 movie, they do Betty real dirty.
They did.
They really they portrayed her as griping, unhappy, argumentative.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, I don't wanna go home either. I feel you,
Right.
bro."
So
But then Amanda Peet's portrayal was a little bit different, where she was just kind of, like, just stupidly loving and believing everything this guy said, and then all of a sudden her world is turned upside down, and she's like and then she turns
well,
into a fucking monster.
let's do this. Let's involve for once Dan. What was Dan doing at this time? Was Dan, in fact, trying to maneuver a new business, being the main provider? Was he working really hard? Was he gaslighting his wife? Was he making her think she was
Probably
crazy?
so.
Like, we don't know. And I think that's
Probably
really
so.
important. We only have her point of view, and she has spoken out
Mhm.
a lot. We don't know Dan's
A
point of
lot,
view.
yeah.
We don't know Linda's point of view
Nope.
because they are no longer here to share their point of view. And I don't want to forget that
Yeah.
in this story. And again, I'm going to go back to the oldest daughter, Kim's testimony. She said that the not abuse, what was I gonna say? The marriage was stressed and that they fought a lot as young back as 10. So, she said
Okay.
that her mom used the word divorce a lot. "We're getting a divorce, we're getting a divorce. Who do you wanna live with? We're getting a divorce. Who do you wanna live with?" So, I wanna bring this up and I wanna talk about it for a minute because it was one of the things when I told you that after I watched
Mm,
her testimony, I was starting to like, my door was swinging not towards Betty because
mhm,
I don't like that she involved the kids. I mean, it's one thing when you argue in front of your kids, like, sometimes you're like, "We can't argue in front of you, they're listening." But it's another thing when you're
mhm.
arguing in front of them and then you bring them into it. "We're getting a divorce. Who do you wanna live with?" Like, you're putting them on the spot in front of both parents.
Yeah,
I'm really not happy about
yeah.
that. So it sounds like there
They
might
were
have been
pawns. They
pawns
weren't
and they might have been used a
they
little
weren't
bit,
kids to her.
and I don't like that so much, Betty. Friend, Betty.
Yeah.
Hope we're doing better than that.
So, it says, against Betty's wishes, Dan moves out in February of '85. He eventually takes custody of their children
Mhm.
because Betty just left them literally on the front
Mhm.
porch with the suitcase until Dan rolled home one night. So
Yes.
in the films, they say that she says she's doing this because she wants him to know what it feels like to have to take care of kids in a home and family after you come home from working all day and you're fucking exhausted, and that he's never had to actually do both things. He's only had to take care of himself, right? But
I
her
mean, did he even have to do
plan
that?
backfires.
Yes.
And it looks like she's just fucking crazy lady. I mean, like, this little guy is sitting on the fucking porch with a suitcase. He's like 6. Who does
S
that?
Okay, yes. Yes, sis.
OMG.
Again, in the '80s, we were learning a lot about how bad the '80s were. Okay. She
Mm,
imagine oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. Imagine that she is having this breakdown. Okay, you're stressed, you're having anxiety, you have 4 kids, you're not the breadwinner. Your breadwinner is off doing God only knows what. He might be gaslighting you, he might not be. We don't know that, but then you also don't do you have the help if you want the help? Therapists were not like it was a secret, it was a dirty word back then. And I think if she
I
had seen a
agree.
therapist,
Here
that would have been used against her. Like, "She's in therapy,
probably
she's
so.
crazy. She's crazy."
I I just have a problem with the way that she treats the kids, the way she does
Agreed.
things in front of the kids. They
Agreed.
remember it.
Well,
They should have been more sheltered from the madness, and
yes.
instead she was using them
Yes.
as like pawns in her game.
Okay.
And I'm going to say something that I know is going to be very controversial,
Oh.
but she really feels like that typical narcissistic fucking boomer mom who just is forgetting all about her kids because it's how she feels is the only thing that matters. And I'm going to go you one
We
better.
just lost half of our
Like you
listeners.
mentioned, you're mentioning like how she is having this breakdown, if you
She might
would.
have been,
That
she
may
might have
be true,
been.
right? We
Yeah.
don't actually know.
We don't
But
know.
I'll tell you what the other side of the coin,
Tell
but the
me.
other side of the coin, there was no breakdown. She had mental health issues, probably legit. She was a narcissist, is a narcissist. And all this shit is happening because suddenly Betty's not getting her way anymore. That's what this is.
It's
Dan
I
is no longer coddling to her
I
every want.
feel
He's
like
not
I
agreeing with her when
heard
he doesn't agree with her.
okay. I feel like I did hear a lot of the
She's not
term
getting her way.
spoiled. She's acting like or she's just upset she's not getting her way, spoiled brat
She
acting out.
acts like a fucking 2-year-old who,
So
yeah. who couldn't get her toy.
When it comes to the kids, and you said that they're there and they remember this, well, I'm going to tell you now, Kim's testimony indicates very clearly how the first child, she went to live with him. She said she was with her mom the night before Easter. I believe it was in 85, and
Mm,
they got into a fight. She said, I had a friend over. I asked my mom if she could take this friend home, and my mom said, no, I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. And we got into a fight, and I just walked in my room. She's like, it wasn't very long after that. My mom came in my room and said, pack your stuff. You're leaving. Pack your stuff. You're leaving. I don't want you here. So she was only 15, 16, 17 at the time. So this is in 85, and she was born in, so she
mhm,
was 15. She said she packed up her bags. She took her to Dan's house where no one was there and left her on the stoop. And Kim said at the time the house was like there was a lot of moving that was happening. They moved out of one house because there was something wrong with the
mhm,
foundation. So then they were in the rental. And then
mhm,
Dan had bought a separate house for both of them. And then they sold the one house. So she says at the
mhm.
time, there was no furniture in this house. So there was nowhere for her to sleep on, nothing for her to sleep on. And her mom left her there, and she says, "I was there waiting for my dad, who eventually came home, but he didn't know that she was there." And the very next day, the boys had gotten into a fight, and that's when Betty brought over the second child. And he did not wanna be brought over there. She said he was crying, he didn't wanna leave his mom, and she left him there. And then it was slowly after that, that one by one, all of the kids eventually went to Dan. And she did testify her
Mm,
it was a very heartbreaking testimony because you could see her keeping it together when they talked about, like, non-important stuff, like, "Where'd you go to school?" But when they started bringing up her dad and her mom, she would get very upset, and she did say that her dad didn't do a great
mhm.
job at first. She said he didn't know what to do with us, he didn't know how to parent us, but she said he rearranged his schedule to make it work. He hired help at home to make it work, and he did get better ultimately at parenting them. She said he did get better, but he did at this point say, "You're not getting them back." So, okay,
And
did he but,
acts in both of the movies, she acts so
like, he
surprised when the judge is
yeah.
like, "We're not giving you custody," and she's like, "What?"
So wait,
Like,
so,
"Is she okay?"
like, if somebody dropped my kids off and then was like, "I wasn't home and you just left them there," I'd be like, "No, you can't have them back." So is he doing the right thing by
Never.
keeping them because he's like, "You can't
Yeah.
just keep dropping them off," or in one of these versions that he's portrayed as like, "You got the kids, so now you don't have to pay child support." We don't know.
Ugh,
Guys, we don't
we don't know.
know. We don't know. We don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
So, in both of the
Shit.
shows, they talk about how Dan was a prominent local attorney.
Mhm.
He was president of the San Diego bar at one point. Betty claims that because of who he was in the community, it made it extremely difficult for her to find an attorney willing to represent her in the divorce, putting her at a disadvantage. He might have used his influence so that no one would talk to
Sure.
her. I mean, I'm
Um,
sure they've done it.
well,
But everyone also it knew her and knew what was going on. Like, there might have been attorneys who were like, "I ain't touching this shit with a
well,
10-foot fucking pole."
hang on though. As an attorney, wouldn't he have also known that this would all be easier if she did have an attorney? Like, as an attorney, you know, it's better for you to have an attorney because we're gonna get a lot further, a lot faster if you have an attorney versus just
That makes sense.
flat
Okay.
out not having one. That's how my brain would be like. Like, I'd be like, it sucks
Okay.
that you're not like, yes, I'm prominent and maybe I'm not gonna let you get a great attorney, but also I, as an attorney, know that you gotta have one. You gotta have somebody representing you or we're not going anywhere. And that turns out to be what happened. Because 'cause didn't they get divorced
Okay.
for, like, 5 years? Like, wasn't it the longest divorce in history?
It says the divorce was finalized in 1989, 4 years
Oh,
after Dan filed the petition.
there it is. 4 years is so long.
So long.
That's such a long time to have a divorce. There are people who get married and get divorced in less time than that. And she was just trying to get divorced in that time. Yes. Was that you? Oh, no. Oh, sis.
I got married and
Please
divorced
come
in less
in.
than 4 years.
Thank you. Did she just call you Eric?
No, she's saying share it. They're fighting over the slime, and Maisie's eating it, so it's
Okay.
been quite
Okay, have fun.
Macy's eating it.
It's just slime. She's fine. He just brought me another margarita, and he's mad, I'm sure, because he had to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Bring me my fucking margarita. Okay, go ahead.
Bring it, bitch.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Where are we at? Hang on.
Betty's behavior became Betty's behavior became increasingly erratic. She left hundreds, they say, hundreds of profane messages on Dan's answering machine, ignored numerous restraining orders that forbade her from setting foot on Dan's property.
Mm-hmm.
In both of the movies, she literally just walked into his house any
She
fucking
did.
time she wanted
Well,
to. She smashed things, she spray painted the walls. And again, I have to go back to the fact that your children are
yes.
walking into this. How unstable is that for them? How scary is that for them? And she didn't give a fuck. She did
So
not care
you're
about her
not
kids.
you're not wrong. The theory was that they were at the time living in the house. What did they keep calling it? The something Cypress Hill? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was the
The
house that
Coral
they
Reef house.
sure. Perfect.
No, Coral Reef.
Okay. I said perfect.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you. Calm down.
Okay.
But that was
Yeah.
like the
Okay.
family house that
Okay,
they
go.
had moved out
You
of.
calm down.
Oh my God. That was the family house that they had moved out of, and then he was living back there with the kids. So there was this theory that she's behaving this way because she's looking at it like it's her house. And that was one of the moves that had happened where Dan moved the kids further from the Coral Reef house, closer to their schools, but far enough where he's like, maybe she
Mm.
won't look at this like it's her house. Maybe she'll look at it like it's not her house, and she'll start behaving. And also it was close to schools. But Betty was like, you move my kids where? Further from me? So that's all I was gonna say on that
Mm.
one.
Well, so what we were talking about was
Betty
um
Broderick.
Betty Broderick's behavior became increasingly erratic after the divorce was finalized. She left hundreds of, they say, profane messages on Dan's answering machine.
Mm-hmm.
She ignored numerous restraining orders that forbade her from setting foot on Dan's property. In both the movies, there was like she would just roll into the house when first of all,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why the doors weren't locked, but whatever. But she would just like walk in, she would just like crash, like smash things,
Just
spray
crash her
paint the
car into the
walls.
front.
She crashed her fucking car
So
into the front of his house.
I
Look,
think she
she could
stole
have
keys
killed
though
one
at
of her children.
true. You're not wrong. On that one, you're not wrong. Her daughter said when she ran the car through the front window that she was cooking dinner in the house at the time. Here's the thing. I wanna circle
Mhm.
back really quick. Didn't I bring this up in our last episode, the whole circle back thing? And I'm like, I think this deserves a better
Circle
conversation.
back.
I want to have a little more conversation on the messages and the profanity in
Mhm.
that there seems to be some consistency with that
Mhm.
at the time Dan was giving her a voluntary stipend, we'll call it, like alimony,
Mhm. An
um,
allowance.
an
Yeah.
allowance, and that he withheld monies every time that she left a profanity mark or a bad message. Um,
Oh, like you don't get your allowance because
he
you were a
would
bad
d he
girl?
would it was like a curse jar. So
Mm.
if she cursed, it was this. If she left bad messages, it was that amount of money. And then if she violated the restraining order, it was this amount of money. And I want to just mention, I'm gonna look it up because fuck this shit. I should have done it already. Oh shit. Her allowance was $16,000 a month.
Holy shit.
No,
In
well,
1985?
yes.
Fuck.
1985 in today. Okay, let's see what it says.
That's a lot of fucking money, dude.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's $48,000, 196 and 58 cents. in
That's a
2026
lot
money.
that's a lot of fucking
Wow.
money.
Well, and it says though with the in due 200% due to inflation. Ah, 200% inflation.
200%.
That's
So
just funny. 200%
so here
inflation.
so I have 2 things to say.
Go.
First thing was, in both the movies, when she ran her car into the house,
Mhm.
he did not press charges where she went
Mm-mm.
to jail. He told them to take her to the
To the
hospital,
hospital. He said
and
she needs help.
she was put on a 72-hour involuntary psych hold.
Mhm.
So that's one thing. He didn't
Mhm.
send her to jail, but it doesn't look good for her ever getting anything that she really is looking for, because now she just looks like a fucking crazy person even more, right?
So, but
The second thing
okay.
the second thing, this withholding money, or kind of like not allowing her to just be an adult and have whatever it is that you're gonna
Mhm.
give her, and, fuck all whatever she does with it.
Mhm.
They say nowadays that financial withholding and,
Mhm.
like, all that stuff is a form of abuse. As much as physical abuse is, as much as emotional abuse is, it's a form of abuse because one person is controlling the other person by
Agreed.
withholding money. They can't get away. They can't do this. They can't do that. It is considered a form of abuse. Back then, they
Okay.
didn't think it was, but
So,
today it is.
okay, so, agreed that it's a form of abuse, the whole withholding.
Mhm.
However, in the sense that he's providing her with a voluntary allowance, if he's the breadwinner and she's
Mhm.
the stay-at-home mom, I
Mhm.
feel like the only way for that to be how it is for him to give her the money each month, 'cause
Mhm.
essentially until they dissolve the marriage and sell whatever needs to be sold, she's not gonna get this large lump sum where she's gonna have her independence, but also he's also gonna be providing this alimony for years to come, it sounds like, for, 5 or 10 or whatever until she gets married again. So, abuse or control to keep the money if she's, like, quote, unquote, "bad," I get it, but I also get that at this point, I'm gonna swing my door real quick. You're Dan. You're trying at this point, it doesn't sound like he's losing his shit with her. It sounds like he's like, "Don't arrest her, put her in she needs help." He's not
Mhm.
yelling at the kid. He's trying to keep the kid safe. Again, I don't know this. I'm just going off of what we've seen on TV and what I saw in the court trials. It sounds like he's
Mhm.
just trying to say, "I need her to understand that this is over, and the only way that she has ever responded in the past is monetary. So
Mm.
if I make this monetary for her, she'll understand it." What if he's saying the only thing that she has ever gotten in her life that she comprehends is monetary? So
Okay.
I am appealing to the one fucking thing I think she'll listen to.
Okay, I gotcha.
Are you you're wait, really?
No,
Wow,
I get
that's
it. I get
yeah, that
that.
felt great.
No, here's
Oh,
the other thing too
oh,
is,
it's so short-lived.
no, agreeing along those lines.
Mhm.
In 1985,
Mhm.
and this was in the 4 years preceding, right? So 1981, 1982,
Like
83,
2? Mhm.
84, all this is going on.
My math is working.
Women had only been allowed to have checking accounts and credit cards without a man, a husband, a father, a son, a brother, whatever,
Mhm.
on the note with them since 1974. So these people, that generation, when all this was happening in the 80s, the thought that women could be financially independent and actually have a say so in their own financial situations was very, very new. So
Wait a minute.
even that concept, like handing over all the money to her, that had only been like different for less than 5 years.
I challenge
So
that.
he
We did an episode where you talked about that bank that opened,
yeah,
and it was much
yeah.
further back than 1974.
No, it was 1974
It was the big
that
heels.
it was
What
it was
episode?
illegal for a bank to discriminate and not loan you money just because you were a woman,
Okay,
and
I see
you
what you're
did not
saying.
need a man to help you. You didn't have to have, like, him on the account with you. You could
Okay.
independently go in and actually do your own thing. But when all this shit was happening, that law had only taken place 5 years prior.
Hmm.
That was a relatively new concept that he didn't have to control the money for her. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, okay.
So I'm agreeing with you in
I hear
terms of
you.
he's like, "I'm using money, blah, blah, blah." And I'll throw you a bone. The fact that she could be, like, independent of him financially was a relatively new concept.
I am gonna do this. I'm gonna say this deserves a bigger conversation, and I'm gonna do some research.
There it is.
Okay,
Okay.
and then we're gonna circle back
All right.
and put a pin in it.
We're gonna circle back.
Use
Okay.
all the fucking phrases. Whoo,
All the
okay,
things.
all of them.
So the divorce is final in 85.
Wait,
Nope,
th
89.
there
The
it is.
divorce is final in 89. Okay.
Mhm.
Dan and Linda were married April 22nd, 1989.
Okay, her marriage was April 12th,
Mm,
1969.
mm,
So, I mean, could we maybe even
mm,
just do a different
mm.
month? Like, can we not do the same month? Can we do a different month? But
Mhm.
even the 89s, like the ending in the nines, 69, 89, I don't want to judge Dan and Linda, but I feel like this might be one of those things where I'm gonna have to sit on that side of Betty Broderick and be like, "Guys, what the fuck were
It
you
was poor
doing?"
timing. It was a bad look. To
They
their
didn't
in their
have to get married
defense.
right like, they didn't have to get married right
No, they
away.
coulda waited. Yeah, they
But
coulda waited.
there had been some talk of
But
him
they had
wanting
been dealing he had
hi
been with
for
this
your
girl
for 4
now 4
years. Yes,
years.
you're right.
They had been waiting. So, Linda
God
was
damn
concerned
it.
about Betty's behavior. She even asked Dan to wear a bulletproof vest at their
I did
wedding.
hear that, I did hear that. So
He didn't do that, but he did have security at his wedding, although it went off without a hitch.
so I did hear, though, that this was the situation where Betty had stolen the, guest list out of their house, and
No.
there were court proceedings that indicated that they're like, "Until you give them back that list, you cannot have any money." And in one of the things, she's like, "I just don't know where it is." And in the other one, she's like and, like, hands it down, and I'm like, "Okay, so I don't know which one it is, but I know that it was returned." And I also know that she had told people that she was going to do bad things at that wedding. So, it's here's the thing, this is, I think, one of those situations. Do you remember when we were talking about when we covered, Mary Beth Tinning, and we said that it wasn't just
Mhm,
her that failed, it was multiple people. Do you know, as we go through this, I am getting very, very, very Mary Beth Tinning vibes because it's
mm,
not just one point of failure at this point, it's multiple. Her friends
mhm,
indicated she told us that she was gonna shoot somebody. Other people were like, she said that she was gonna kill him. So there's multiple points of failure where people are like, "She's saying that she's
mhm.
gonna kill you." Maybe somebody should have been like,
I
can we
mean,
get her"
she drove
rear,
the
rear,
fucking
rear.
car through
Yes.
she
Her
drove her
ca
car
Yes.
like,
Let's
she wasn't
maybe
just
get
talking,
her
she was doing things.
let's call it a 28-day spa retreat.
Mm.
and let's introduce her to some, what do they call that? Chemical counseling, where we introduce medication. That was a term I just came up with. I don't know if it's real, but that's what I'm
TM.
calling it. TM, chemical counseling. Because
I love
I
it.
understand, here's what I understand. Sometimes a lot of crazy is a little fun. Okay. We're going to TM that one too, because I thought about that the other day. If you've ever been just a little bit Looney Tunes, it's a little bit fun. So maybe in Betty's mind, she's like, hey, I'm being a lot crazy, but it's also a little fun. And what happens is that Linda is like, well, two can play at that fucking game. And she went on over to Betty's house and was like, hey, you want to take my wedding list? Well, guess what, bitch? I'm going to take your diary. Ugh, not the diary.
No. I
But
also wrote down that Betty claimed that Linda taunted her by mailing her facial creams and slimming treatment ads. She went for the wrinkles and the weight, baby.
it's not right.
It's not funny, but
It's
it's so
not
funny.
It's not funny, but at here I am, and here I am in at 49, and if somebody sent me facial cream, I'd be like, "Fucking
Thank you.
bitch." But I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and bring this upstairs. And if it was an ad for a slimming treatment with a coupon attached, I would be like,
I'm gonna call
cunt,
them.
and I'm just gonna fold this up and put it in my pocket because what if it's a good coupon, like a BOGO?
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
deny that. Okay.
So, if that's true, it was a
There has
perfect
to be
storm.
a certain level of taunt if you get married on April 22nd, 1989. You could have waited like
Just
2
saying.
more months. Even if it was, I
You
get
could
it
have.
that you're waiting 4 years, but you could have waited like another, like, just go June 1st or
Why not?
whatever the Saturday was in that year. Okay, go.
Yeah.
No, take us to
Okay,
the
so
to the
this is
wedding
the
day.
no, this is the seriousness. The wedding went off without a hitch.
Okay.
All right. 1 month before Dan and Linda's wedding, Betty purchases a Smith& and Wesson revolver.
Mhm.
Early one morning, 7 months after Dan and Linda were married, Betty Broderick drove to Dan's house at 1041 Cypress Avenue in the Marston Hills neighborhood near Balboa Park in San Diego. She had taken the key from the house or for the house from her daughter, Kim.
Mhm.
She walked in, the couple was still asleep, and she shot and killed them in bed. The murders occurred at 5:30 in the morning on November 5th, 1989, 2 days before Betty's 42nd birthday. 2 bullets hit Linda, one in the head, one in the chest, killing
Oh
her instantly.
no.
One bullet hit Dan in the chest, and as he was apparently reaching for the phone, another bullet hit the wall, another bullet hit the nightstand, but it was the one in the chest that killed him eventually.
Mhm. Mhm.
The incident occurred 17 days before Dan turned 45. Linda was 28.
Oh god.
She was a baby. She had no business with that old man. Ew.
No, stop. No,
Blech.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Here's I'm gonna say something
28 years
ugly.
old. He's old and ready-made fucking family, 4 goddamn kids that aren't
So
yours.
hang on. When he met her, he would have only been like 39. Of course, she would have only been like 20 something. So okay, a little ick.
25?
Okay, a little ick. But also like I'm 49 and let me tell you something. I look good. Like I don't look like some rusty, nasty old person. Like so I get it. I get it. I could see a 28-year-old being like, "Damn, that girl's hot." I mean,
All
I
right.
probably not, but like I don't want to judge Linda for the heart
No,
wants what
I
the
don't
heart
judge
wants.
Linda. I feel bad for Linda. Like, girl had the whole fucking 30s ahead of her. Those are the best goddamn times. And she's fucking babysitting other people's kids. And
Can I tell you a
no.
theory I have? Like, Elisa, can I go into a Lisa theory? So we know
Mm,
that Betty had some issues or complications being pregnant, right? And then there was
mm,
talks that she had her tubes tied, and that
mm.
maybe had set Dan in a position where he was like, "Well, I always thought I would have a big family." Sorry, motherfucker. 4 kids is a gigantic family. Maybe not.
That's not enough.
That's a horrible amount of kids, and you want even more and you're not home ever. But I guess part of me is then like, if he's making so much money, hire a goddamn nanny. Hire a nanny, excuse me, and also a maid. Like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
that would be better for you. But so I don't.
Maybe she had a bit of a martyr complex. Like if she had people there
I
helping
have
her,
to
then
do it
she
all. I
couldn't
have to
complain about
complain
how,
about all.
you
But
know,
isn't that better?
how put upon I am.
Isn't that better?
I
For
would think
me,
so.
for me, I don't wanna be a martyr. I don't wanna do everything. I don't wanna tell people I do everything. I wanna be the girl that's telling people I have a maid. My friend Katie said, "I have a girl come once a month to clean my house," and I was like, "Fuck you, Katie. I'm jealous right now. Also, good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you that you did that for you, but also fuck you." Just kidding,
Yeah.
Katie. I don't mean that. That's drunk Lisa talking. Go.
All right. Evidence was presented at her trial that Betty had removed the answering machine and the phone from Dan Broderick's
Mhm.
bedroom so he could not call for help.
Yeah.
Medical evidence indicated that Dan had not died immediately. Betty claimed that she had spoken to him after shooting him. Um, After contacting her daughter Lee and Lee's boyfriend, Betty turned herself into police. She never denied that she pulled the trigger. Betty's explanation at both trials was that she never planned to kill Dan and Linda and that her crime was not premeditated. But it sounds pretty premeditated.
So I did
Removing the
hear
answering machine,
that was
like,
what got her. Did you hear that she had a first trial that was a mistrial?
that was a mistrial, and then they
And
did it again,
right.
and yeah.
And that was ultimately the phone thing was the thing that got her, because the judge was like, the
Mhm,
intent behind removing the phone is that you had hoped he would die. But I thought I had
mhm.
heard that she was originally she tried to say that she was there to kill herself in front of him. And I'm like, well, that's not the Betty I know.
Ever the martyr,
The Betty
ever the
I know
martyr.
is never gonna be like, "Fuck you guys, you get to live without me making your life miserable. This is way too much
Mm,
fun for me. Boo boo."
mm.
Okay.
Linda and Dan are listed as having been buried together at Greenwood Memorial Park in San Diego. Um, the criminal defense attorney, Jack Early, represented Broderick at trial. Carrie Wells was the prosecutor. Broderick's defense was that she had been a battered wife. She claimed that she had been driven over the edge by years of psychological, physical, and mental abuse, all at the
Okay.
hands of her ex husband. Um, Wells, the prosecutor, said Broderick was a murderer who planned and schemed to kill her ex husband and argued to the jury that Broderick was not a battered woman. Neither of the TV shows show evidence like any portrayals of Dan being abusive
Mm-mm.
physically.
Right.
Um, I would say in the 1992 movie, he came
Mhm.
off kind of looking like the angel in all of this
Yeah,
and the nightmare of a wife.
yeah.
And then in the 2020 movie, he comes off like the typical kind of douchebag husband who never helped out and then traded the old wife for the younger version and, blah, blah, blah. But he was never portrayed as being physically abusive to
Correct.
her.
Correct.
Um, and then that's when kind of I had heard about, like, withholding money and
Mhm.
controlling the other partner that way is considered a form of abuse now, and he totally did that. So here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
There was a a forensic psychiatrist,
Mhm.
Dr. Park Dietz, for the prosecution. Then there was Dr. Melvin Goldsband, who
Mhm.
previously worked for the prosecution. Both of them said that Broderick had narcissistic personality disorder.
When you say
And this
Broderick, you
word I'm
mean
gonna
Betty.
Betty, yes.
Okay, okay.
And they coined this phrase, and I'm gonna use this when I write my notes from now on.
Oh,
They said that she had histrionic personality disorder,
did they
and I had to
create
look it
that
up.
for a woman?
Histrionic. No, I don't. Well,
Because if
maybe.
they did, I don't
So
like it.
histrionic, I had to look it up, means overly theatrical and dramatic.
That sounds like a
And
woman thing.
sister, I see it in men too.
Do
I see
you?
it every day, every day. So, like, the thing that sticks out in my head, it was a lady, unfortunately.
God
She
damn it,
had
I told
diarrhea,
you.
right?
She had what?
We all know that's awful. She had diarrhea.
Diarrhea?
But she sat there and she's telling me about it and she said, "Well, it's like it's like it's a near death experience because
Really?
it's just so urgent." And I was like,
Oh my.
"You're
I think
equating
people who actually
diarrhea
almost died might disagree with you.
with almost like so that's what I think of when I hear the description and I'm like histrionic." And what I do put it like in quotes in my notes when people do those things because I want whoever's reading my note to understand kind of where what I'm
The
seeing,
headspace is
right?
okay,
Like the,
okay.
you
You wanna
know,
paint a
so
vivid
I'll do
picture.
quotes. Yes. So
I
then they
fucking
know
love
exactly what
quotes.
we're dealing with here.
This
Love it.
so
But now I have an
histrionic
actual word, histrionic.
so this histrionic thing though sounds very it sounds like they created something for a woman. Like, I don't feel like a
They
man
might
would
have.
ever be described excuse me, as histrionic. It just not I'm
I
just
would
saying
say
I'm not
not
loving
back
it. I'm not loving it.
I would say not back then, but
I'm
I see it.
histrionically late.
That's not a thing.
That's no, it literally is with me, histrionically. Go go ahead. I'm gonna tell you some
So
bullshit
there
that
was
happened at
another
work.
doctor, um, clinical psychologist Catherine DeFrancesca.
Mhm.
She testified for the defense,
We're both getting gassy
and she
because you
also
got the
said,
hiccups or something.
I got hiccups."
Okay.
Uh, she also said that
Uh,
Broderick Betty
Uh-huh.
was severely narcissistic, and that fits. I'm
Heard.
sorry, but that
She
it fits
okay, it
100%.
it does sound like she may have been suffering from some narcissistic tendencies, but mightn't those have been brought on by other maybe some mental undiagnosed illnesses? Like, I
I
don't
believe that
know.
you
I
have
mean,
those traits even as a child, Lisa. That's not something that just happens to you.
okay,
It's
but
the way
I
that you're
also
wired
feel
and
like some of the things sorry, go ahead.
you can either allow it to control you and escalate in this situation, or you can recognize it for what it is and you just know that you can't say this or that or you can't behave this way or that way. Like people I know a lot of narcissists who, are like CEOs and billionaires. Like that's
They
why they
have to
are who they
be.
are. They're not murderers.
Mm.
So you have to use use your powers for good.
They're murderers of the soul usually, though.
Maybe.
I mean, all the
Maybe.
narcissists that I've ever worked for are like they're soul assassinators. They're
Mm.
trying to just destroy you from the inside out, which I consider a special form of assassination. Oh, what the
So
fuck was
Broderick's
that
first trial
face?
I'm hiccuping. I'm trying not to hiccup.
Were you trying to get rid of him?
Mhm. So Broderick's first trial ended with a hung jury.
That was the worst
Quit laughing
face
at
you've
me.
ever I'm like, "Are you going poo? Did you go to the bathroom and bring your computer?"
Hiccup.
Okay.
So, 2 jurors held out for manslaughter,
Mhm.
citing lack of intent. So, it was a mistrial.
Mhm.
A year later, they redid it. Second trial was essentially a replay, but Prosecutor Wells was successful at the second trial, and the jury returned with a verdict of 2 counts of second
So
degree murder.
according to the TV movies, the second trial,
Mhm.
they went into detail about what happened in the bedroom, which they didn't
Oh.
do in the first trial, and again, this is now going to, like, the movie things, but I feel like I remember reading this somewhere. She had gotten letters on top of letters on top of letters of women who had sympathized and supported, like, not necessarily supported, but were like, you self-defense may have been a reasonable argument, and so what I did was I
Oh.
looked up the California state law, and there was a family law that was put into place in 1965 that said that you had to establish, um what's that word when you're, like, infidelities, like, when you have, it was like, so basically what happened after that law was that it was a no
Mhm.
contest divorce, or
Oh, yeah, like, you
no
could just
fault
walk
divorce.
away, no fault.
Right, right, no fault
Yeah.
divorce, but what
You
happened
can't
when
hold an
they
affair against somebody.
Right. What happened when they did that was that they had noticed that there were studies that showed that there was this great inequality in that women were being mistreated in how the divorce proceedings were, because prior to that, you could introduce
Mm.
infidelity and the woman would be compensated for it. And then
Mhm.
after that whole no fault divorce thing, they're
I
like,
see.
well, the fact that he cheated on you doesn't matter, and you get nothing. And you
Mm.
get nothing. So it was like,
I see.
so there was this pipeline of women who sympathized, who came before
Mhm.
Betty, who were like, I get where you're at because I was
Mm.
there. My husband left me and I had nothing." And this is not, I mean, I know women to this day. I'm friends with women.
But Betty
One
didn't
in
have nothing, Lisa. Betty was getting fucking 48,000 a month.
Girl, that was hard. Okay, that's a hard pill to swallow. Everyone, here's what I say to that.
I mean,
That would be like, you know what? I can't. I got nothing because I don't know that I would ever see that kind of money. I was gonna try and say, like, I don't know, $5,000 a month. All I'm saying is, in court, they did bring up, they're like, Betty's people are gonna have a hard time sympathizing with the fact that you got $16,000 a month, and that was what he gave her. She wanted more.
mhm.
Excuse me.
I know.
So, plus the sale of the house, plus the retirement, plus the so that was just gonna be her allowance. Like, if she had gotten a lawyer and had been like, "This is done, this is over with," there is a chance that she would have walked away with, like, a couple $1,000,000 and her
And
alimony
I get
and her
where, like, in her
kids.
brain, she's right, and she's looking at all of it, and she's like, "But he has so much more, and Linda's gonna get so much more because
She
she's now
might
married
have.
to him and all that." Like, I get it, it sucks. I'm sorry, I'm not spending my fucking life in prison just because it looks unequal. Fuck you.
So I guess to
Bye.
that, no, 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 and I guess to that I say, for her, God, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm gonna, because I've had a couple beers. In her brain, I'm sure she's like, well, now they got nothing. So I can live with
Yeah,
that. And I'm
I
not saying
know.
that's what I would do. Oh my God. Everybody who still was listening is now gone. So you insulted our over 50s earlier, and I just lost everybody else. Listen, guys, this is all I'm saying is that I do like to sit on the sides of all of them.
She
I
likes to hear she likes to play it from both sides.
I love playing all the sides, every single one of them.
Okay,
There's people
so Betty
there's women who
gets
know me that are like, "We know she plays both sides. We were there."
so
They
Betty,
know who they are.
gets a verdict of 2 counts of second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of 15 years to life, plus 2 years for the illegal use of a firearm, which was the maximum sentence under the law. She has been incarcerated since the day she committed the murders. She is 78 years old now. She is serving her sentence at the California Institution for Women in Chino. In January 2010, her first request for parole was denied by the Board of Parole Hearings because she neither showed remorse or acknowledged any wrongdoing. She was denied parole again in 2017. Same thing.
Girl,
She is like,
girl.
I didn't do shit wrong. She will not be eligible for parole again until January of 2032, at which
Okay.
time she'll be 84.
Okay, here's the thing. You don't get less stubborn as you get older. You get more stubborn. We know this from our own behavior. So she's not going to come to them in 2032 and be like, "God, so hey, yes, yeah, yes."
So,
So I get it.
um,
Mhm.
well,
I'm good. I was wrong. That's not
that
her
might not have been the
vernacular.
best way to do it.
Fuck. I thought she was
Yeah.
out. I really thought she was out already. I
No.
can't believe I didn't finish up this.
She should have been, but she can't even show a little bit of remorse or acknowledge that maybe she made the wrong choice. Not even
So
they not nothing.
maybe it's maybe the remorse is like if they had asked her like 20 years ago if she was remorseful, she would have been like, "Yeah, of course I am." But now she's just like, "Who
So
fucking cares?" Like
I'm going to
not that
go
I'm
one
saying that. I'm
further.
saying that she's like probably like
No, no,
remorse is
no.
already done.
So there's this thing that happens when people are institutionalized for a long time.
Mhm.
They are afraid to be out in the world, right?
Heard. Mhm.
Because in prison, the lights come and go. They get turned on at a certain time and they get turned off at a certain time. And your meals are thought out for you and your day is thought out for you. And you don't have any stress
Mhm.
because you don't have to make any decisions.
Mhm.
But if they release her, where's she going to go?
To
How
her
is she going to
kids.
survive?
I think she's still
No, they're not
talking.
going to take her.
I think they still might.
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't
But in
know.
her brain, like, she's old now and she's probably not of the best health and she's been in prison for such a long time. Like, the world is a scary place. So she probably doesn't mind just staying where she is.
Okay.
I don't know. But
So it
yeah,
says that
that
she
was
has
the stories.
limited, infrequent contact with her children. Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough one because you can definitely see both sides. Although no matter what happened to her, killing 2 people is I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that.
No, I was just gonna say, regardless of what was done to her, I don't know that there's justification for the murder of 2 people. There is
Mhm.
definitely justification for a burning of a pile of clothes. I don't hate that for her. You know what? And even when
I
they said
wouldn't have
that
put my car through the window.
the
That's a
car
little
was too
overstepping.
much. I don't think I have like she took a Boston cream pie to the bedroom. You know, is it a little childish? Yes, but you know what? Again, I'm going back to that whole lot of crazy's a little fun thing where she's like, "Huh, well, I got myself a pie. I got myself some clothes. I'm gonna fucking put your hands together," as Joey
So,
Tribbiani said.
in, um in the '92 movie, there was a thing where she went into the house after they had left,
Mhm.
and it was all decorated for Christmas,
Yes,
and
yes,
she's
I
just,
saw
like,
that.
sitting in front of the right?
Mhm.
Uh, Now, if it were me and I wanted to be childish,
Oh
I
god.
might have replaced all the ornaments with, like, little penises.
That's your
Like,
level of depravity.
that's my level of petty depravity. That's it. So I'm going to say don't park next to vans, roll up your windows, don't drive your car through other people's houses, no matter the reason.
Come on,
Just saying.
Betty, let's go.
Touche.
Touche.
Executive produced by me, Marie Abinante, and my sister, Lisa Linsner.
Music by John Bartman, track Shooter on the Roof. Cover art by the talented and beautiful Alexis Guerrero.
And all of this is possible editing and recording using Riverside.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.